The Lancaster Barnstormers opening road trip to North Carolina began with promise. A week ago tonight, the Barnstormers in the season opener took down the Gastonia Honey Hunters 5-2. They haven't won since. Can they bookend the road trip with victories? That's the goal tonight, as Augie Silk will be taking the mound for the Barnstormers against right-hander Cooper Cassad, both pitchers returning for their respective ball clubs from a year ago. And right now, we'll send it down to the field and our national anthem this evening here at Truist Point.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America and those who protect her, as our national anthem is performed by the Heart and Soul Choir.
Welcome back from High Point, North Carolina, and Truist Point, where the Lancaster Barnstormers visit the High Point Rockers for the third game of a three-game series. Dave Collins with you on a beautiful night for baseball. The wind still blowing that we have had for this entire series, blowing out toward right field, and it is expected to get chilly later on here tonight. Here are the starting lineups for this evening's game. Ross Peoples shuffling the top of his order a bit. Ladarius Clark this evening will be leading off. He is in center. The second baseman batting number 2 is Melvin Mercedes. Andretti Cordero is the third baseman batting third. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman, Kelly Dugan. The designated hitter batting in the number 5 slot will be Colton Shaver. Anderson Felice will bat 6th. He is in left. The shortstop batting 7th is Trace Lair. Anthony Peroni gets the start behind the plate tonight. He's batting 8th. Devon Torrance will be out in right field batting 9th. Mark Zagunis and Jake Hoover both getting a little bit banged up in the ball game a night ago, and neither one starting here tonight. For the Barnstormers on the hill, it is Augie Silk, who lost his first outing of the season, a game eventually won by the Gastonia Honey Hunters last Saturday. The final score 8-1. Silk gave up 4 runs on 5 hits, I should say, over 4 innings. Got off to a slow start. The first 3 men that he faced reached base, and 2 of those did score. For High Point this evening, it will be Johnny Field in center leading off. Michael Russell, a second baseman, batting number 2. Kelly Downs is the first baseman hitting third. Quincy Lattimore will bat cleanup. He'll be the DH tonight. Xander Wheel, who hit 2 home runs, including an inside-the-park home run last night, batting 5th, playing third base. Ben Aklinski is the left fielder hitting 6th. Tyler Ladendorf at shortstop batting 7th. And Michaelino catching Jay Gonzalez in right. And on the hill is Cooper Cassad. His first pitch of the night is, we'll get used to the ball strike signals. It looked high and inside from here. Barnstormers in need of a first base coach. Next delivery, meanwhile, is taken outside. I believe that is 2-0. Now on Ladarius Clark, 3 for 15 with 1 home run that hit on his first at-bat of the season at Gastonia. There's a called strike. Now we know. So it is 1-2. The first pitch was a strike as signaled by Calvin Baker. The second a ball, and now strike 2. The wind by Casad, who's working quickly. There's a swing and a pop-up foul, twisting out of play. Clark continues to bat at 1-2. Talked at length last night that the Barnstormers are struggling early in games. They've been outscored 21-3 in the first 2 innings in these last 5 games, the 5-game losing streak. And in the first inning, they haven't had a base runner yet this season. And they won't here either. Ladarius Clark strikes out looking. Cooper Casad in his second start of the year. The 6-footer from Petaluma, California, 7-4 with the Rockers a year ago. No record in his first start of this season. He pitched well against the Genomes, gave up 5 hits and a run, and did not walk anybody in 6 innings, was not involved in the decision. Here's the offering, and that is a ball outside to Melvin Mercedes, who is 4 for 24. 1 double and a couple of runs batted in for Melvin. Now a strike, and we're even at 1 each on the Barnstormers' second baseman. Got off to a decent start. He's got into a tailspin. Realistically, the whole club has. The Barnstormers only have 10 hits in the first 2 games of this series, just 3 last night. They haven't reached 10 hits in a game yet this year. And the offering that is cut on missed. 2-2 to Melvin Mercedes, batting with 1 out at the outset of the ball game here tonight. Andretti Cordero is on deck. Here's the offering. And ball 3, missing outside and low, filling the count 3-2. Niall Ball coaching first base once again. Ross Peoples on the other side over at third. 3-2, hard hit ground ball but foul past Niall and down into the High Point bullpen area. The Barnstormers taking Casad deep in the count. He is a guy with very good control. Even with the automated ball strike system last year, he walked only 28 batters in 123 and 2/3 innings. The pitch, 3-2, and fouled off. Still a full count to Mercedes. Melvin 1 for 8 in the current series. Mercedes can stay in the box for quite some time, battling you. 3-2 pitch, swung on, and there's a ground ball. Backhanded pickup made by Russell. Mercedes, for the 3rd straight game, out 4-3 on his first at bat of the night. 2 are gone, and the batter will be the third baseman, Andretti Cordero. Cordero had that monstrous game at Gastonia on Sunday. He hasn't ultimately been quiet other than that, but certainly not the performance that he had in that one game. Has the 2 home runs, both hit Sunday, 5 runs batted in. The pitch from Casad sails in high for a ball. 1-0. Kelly Dugan, the first baseman, who's had the best series of the Barnstormers here, waits on deck. Swing and a foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cordero. Andretti is 1 for 7 in the current series. Last night he flied out twice to the warning track against the lefty starter Justin Nicolino, both times hitting the ball to the opposite field. A swing that will play very well at Clipper Magazine Stadium. If we can have a repeat performance, both would have been on the deck and maybe even over. 2-1. That's high and outside. So the Barnstormers are on the verge again of having that first inning base runner in 7 games on this road trip. And 3-1. Cordero goes after it, fouls it away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count on Andretti. Casad does not give in easily. Helicopter lifting off from behind the third base seats. That is what you hear. The hospital here, not terribly far away, just like Charleston. Swung on and missed. So again, 7th straight game. The Barnstormers are retired in order in the top half of the first inning. Nothing across. At the end of a half, Lancaster nothing. High Point is coming up.
Are you sick and tired of washers that don't use enough water or take 2 hours to clean and don't last more than a few years? Well, come into Gockenauer's in East Petersburg now and let us show you the Speed Queen commercial grade laundry. Built the old-fashioned way with warranties up to 7 full years. Gockenauer's will deliver and install your new Speed Queen, and we know you'll be fully satisfied with your purchase. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg, your hometown dealer for 73 years.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Knockoffs, copycats, imitators. They all share one thing in common. They always pale in comparison next to the true original. Just like the stylish and versatile Lexus RX. The crossover that paved the way for others. And it's still the best for one simple reason. Nothing else is as good as the original. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
Left-hander Augie Silk on the hill for the Barnstormers this evening for his second start of the season. As I mentioned, he lost 8-1 to Gastonia on Saturday. 5 hits, 4 runs in 4 innings. And it's incumbent upon Silk to get off to a decent start here tonight. The offense still struggling overall, especially early in the game. And Silk needs to keep his ball club in it. They've been down 3-0 and 4-0 after 2 innings in the first 2 games of this series. On Tuesday, the Barnstormers battled back to take a lead, although it was very short-lived. They lost 5-4 in 10 innings. Last night, High Point never let up, and the game ended 14-0. Silk's first offering is hit high in the air towards center field. Ladarius Clark had some trouble last night on line drives in his direction, but one, the sun is not as bright here tonight, and secondly, that was hit a little bit higher, and the sun really didn't have any effect. There will be a time, last night it hit in the bottom of the second inning. The setting sun shines through an open area behind home plate. It got in Clark's eyes in last night's game. 1 out, Michael Russell will step in, the second baseman, 4 for 22 on the year. The left-hander Silk delivers, and he locates the inner part of the plate for a called strike. It is 0-1. Silk, 6'4", 210 pounds from Pacific Palisades, California. He is still just 23 years of age. There's a ground ball on the right side. Melvin Mercedes with time for the throw. 2 up and 2 down for Silk here at the outset of the night. Jerry Downs, the first baseman, will step in. Last night, Dominic DeSabatino retired the first 2, both on strikes, and then Downs hit one off the scoreboard. That was a home run under any circumstances, but it got a little bit extra of a push from the wind that was blowing out toward right field last night, and became an even more impressive home run. Silk to the lefty Downs, and the first pitch was a strike. It is 0-1. Augie split decisions against High Point last year, and it really somewhat typifies the year that Silk had with the Barnstormers. One start here, he got hit very hard. Gave up 8 runs in an inning and a third. And then on the final day of the regular season, he came out and threw 6 shutout innings against the Rockers, winning the finale of the season. He's ahead of Downs, no balls and 2 strikes. And it was that performance, I think as much as anything else, where Ross gave him an invitation back. Ground ball through the shift and a base hit into right center field. Downs is aboard, a 2-out single into right center. Quincy Lattimore, the designated hitter, will come to the plate. Lattimore had the game-winning hit here on Tuesday, did not play last night. 1 double, 1 home run for him on the season, and he's 3 out of 16. Downs the base runner, now 3 for 10 in this series for him. Barnstormers pitching staff has been somewhat of a panacea for the High Point offense, which didn't get much done against Wild Health over the weekend. Pitch is outside. Peroni fires down to first, and Downs, who has 1 steal for the year, jumps back on. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Lattimore. Xander Wheel, the third baseman, is scheduled to bat next. Silk to the plate. That is cut on and fouled. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lattimore had 2 runs batted in. The game-winning single off of Scott Schumann in the bottom of the 10th. And a ball that wasn't hit very hard at all. I saw the replay of that. Tough to pick it up off the bat from this angle. That was just a little flare that got over Jake Hoover's head, and Anderson Felice didn't have enough time to come in and grab it. And a pitch. There's a strike. And Silk finds himself ahead of Lattimore at 1-2. He also drove in a run with a ground out in that series opener. Downs the runner at first. He hasn't gone anywhere yet, not even out to a huge lead. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. Silk working to Lattimore. Augie to the set. The pitch swung on, and that ball is smashed into left field for a base hit. Runners are at first and second. 2 men are out, and here is Wheel, who had the 2-homer, 4 RBI game last night, and overall is hitting .333, 6 out of 18, with a couple of home runs and 8 runs batted in. High Point comes into tonight at 4-2, and the Barnstormers 1-5. High Point battling for the top spot in the South, along with Charleston and Gastonia. Charleston lost earlier today to Long Island. And the Ducks in Southern Maryland right now are duking it out for control of the North. 2 outs, 2 on, and it is up and away to Wheel for a ball. 1-0. Ben Aklinski, the left fielder, waits on deck. Infield back, and the outfield moderately deep as well. Silk to a high set position, checking the runners. They hold. And he is off the mark again for ball 2, 2-0 to Wheel. Tonight, Lancaster with Cordero at third, Lair at short. Mercedes, the second baseman, Dugan at first. Felice, Clark, and Torrance, the outfield from left to right. And Anthony Peroni is doing the catching. 2 balls and nothing. Augie Silk will bring it home. That is cut on and fouled off, 2-1. Silk trying to spoil the Rockers' plans here in the first inning. The Barnstormers have given up a first-inning run. We talk about the lack of offense, but they've now given up a first-inning run in 4 straight games. Silk trying to snap that streak. The pitch inside, it bouncing free momentarily from Peroni, but he's able to keep it within arm's length, and Downs, hence Lattimore, checking up. But now, Silk is in danger here in the first inning. 3 balls, 1 strike. Needs to make some quality pitches. Aklinski, who has driven in a ton of runs against the Barnstormers the past couple of seasons, waits on deck. 15 for Lexington in 12 games in the season series last year, 1 in this series for Aklinski. So to Wheel, here's the 3-1. That is cut on and fouled back. We get to a full count. The runners will be on the move here. Downs from second. Lattimore will be off of first as they have slapped consecutive 2-out singles here in the bottom half of the first inning. No score tonight from Truist Point. Shadows have, for the most part, crept all the way out to second base now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The runners are turned loose. The pitch is cut on, and this ball is driven to left center field. Racing back is Clark. Anderson Felice there as well. Good job cutting that off by Felice in left field. But 2 runs are going to score. And stopping at second with a 2-run double is Wheel. Already a 2-0 start for the High Point Rockers. And this is becoming problematic on this opening road trip. 5 games in a row now where the Barnstormers have surrendered at least a run in the bottom of the first inning without getting a base runner in the top of the inning. It's the starts that are terribly poisonous to this ball club. In a ballpark right now that has a history of being toxic to the Barnstormers anyway, Lancaster historically is only 2-14 at Truist Point. Nothing has typified the Barnstormers' work at this ballpark in High Point in the game where seasoned veteran closer Cody Epley gave up a 2-out game-tying 3-run homer to a catcher by the name of Frank Nigro, who was just out of college, and I believe it was the only home run Nigro hit the entire season. Pronia and Silk will get together about signs with Calvin Baker in tow, so no timeout is charged there. Wheel, the runner at second base with 2 outs in the inning. Aklinski off to a terrific start this year. He is 8 for 16, 3 for 6 in this series. Batting with Wheel, who's been a big RBI man these past 2 nights. He leads off second. The pitch is taken on the inside corner, and we get to 2-1. I don't know exactly what Ross has planned, but he did say that he was on the telephone quite a bit in what turned out to be a rather eventful morning for the Barnstormers. Ball 3 is high and outside, 3-1. Although ultimately it really had negligible effect on our day. Our driver from executive coach Wayne Peace, he was the one who had the tough day. 3-1 pitch is pulled down the left field line, hooking, and that is a home run just inside the pole for Aklinski, and a 4-run first inning for the High Point Rockers. Second home run of the season for Aklinski, and the Barnstormers again well behind in the early going. Yanked down the left field line, giving chase was Felice back to the corner. Looked like that might hook foul, but it didn't. Now Tyler Ladendorf steps in. He is batting just 154. Silk got off to a great start. 2 outs, nobody on, 2 outs on 3 pitches, and then 4 straight solid hits against him. To the plate, and a ball off the outside corner. It's 1-0. He can look so good at times. Think about the 2 appearances Augie had in spring training, where he struck out 8 of 12 batters over 4 innings against the York Revolution, which, as you are probably aware, is not exactly a light-hitting team. 2-0 on Ladendorf. Silk brings it home. That is cut on and missed. 2-1, 4-0 in favor of the Rockers, and they're still batting in the bottom half of the first inning. Last night, 9 extra base hits for High Point, and already 2 here tonight. Their bat's a good deal quieter in the Tuesday night contest. On to the inside corner. Silk able to burn it. Ladendorf trying to get the hands out of the way. 2-2. Ladendorf, the one guy who he started to get some things done in this series. He had a triple and a couple of runs batted in last night, but he has been otherwise fairly quiet. Ball 3, high and outside. Silk can't get the hitters out. He's gone to 3-2 on a few of them recently, and everybody's responded with a base hit. The payoff, and now Ladendorf with a swing and a ball fouled away. We continue. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. The bases are empty at this stage, following the 2-run double by Wheel and the 2-run homer by Aklinski. Augie Silk into his wind. The pitch cut on and missed. Down goes Ladendorf. The strikeout ends the inning, but again, it's a big start for the home team while the Barnstormers have been on this week-long road trip. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors, nobody left on. We're at the end of an inning tonight here at High Point. The Rockers already lead 4-0.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor. Excuse me, Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine?
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, Local Flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, Local Flavor. Localflavor.com, Local Flavor.
Kelly Dugan, Colton Shaver, and Anderson Felice are the slated hitters for the Barnstormers in the second inning. And again, Lancaster finds itself in a position to have to come from behind and rally not just a run or two, but several runs coming out of the early innings. Dugan will lead it off. 3 hits for Kelly in this series. It's the most for any member of the ball club. 4 out of 15 on the year with 2 doubles. They've both been hit here, and they were virtually identical from the 8th inning Tuesday night and his first trip to the plate last night, plugging the gap out in right center. Cassad is ready, and the pitch taken away, and it's ball 1 and no strikes to Dugan. So 3 out of 7 for the first baseman in this series. Next pitch, Kelly swings a little late, it looked like, on that one. Doesn't get it. It's a ball and a strike. Aklinski, Field, and Gonzalez, the outfield again from left to right here tonight. Dugan with a swing and a foul here. It's 1 and 2. Infield has Wheel at third, Ledendorf at short, Russell at second, and Downs at first. Galino is working with Cassad to Dugan. Kelly leans out of the way and gets ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swung on, wrapped toward the middle. There is the shortstop, and then Ledendorf makes a high throw. Dugan arrives safely at first base and will chalk that one up as a throwing error on Tyler Ledendorf, who fielded that ground ball to the right side of second base with the shift on. Lancaster catches a break here in the second inning. Errors against the Barnstormers, with the exception of that third inning opening night at Gastonia, have been few and far between on this road trip. And Lancaster gets a man on here, and Colton Shaver steps in. Shaver's not having a bad series. Here's the pitch. Colton with a swing and a miss, down a strike. 208 now for the year with a homer and a couple of runs batted in. And 248 here. He has knocked in 1. Dugan the base runner with nobody out. Top of the second inning as the Barnstormers try to strike back. Cassad will deliver, and that is lined out to right field, and a base hit for Colton Shaver. The ball gets away from Gonzalez, and the Barnstormers will pick up an extra base with both runners. Second and third now with nobody out. Shaver with a single to right. That should be the second error of the inning. Somewhat reminiscent of the third inning at Gastonia, which led to the one Barnstormers victory of the year. It is a single for Shaver, his third hit in this series, tying Dugan, and then an E9. The Barnstormers end up with runners at second and third, nobody out. Anderson Felice stepping in. Anderson 6 for 25 on the year. His hitting streak snapped last night. He had batted safely in each of the first 5. Now he gets a ball. Trace Lair, the shortstop, waiting on deck. 1-0. The count to Felice. Runners are at second and third with nobody out. Cassad ready to go. Felice pulls up, and the ball inside. 2-0. Lancaster handed an opportunity. Very little of this jam is the fault of Cassad, but he's the man who has to get out of it. Strike taken. Felice at 2-1. A 4 spot in the bottom of the first inning for High Point, but the Barnstormers have every chance in the world right now to get half of those back. 2 in scoring position, none down. 2-1. Anderson Felice takes a second strike, this time on the inside corner. The infield will gladly concede a run to get an out here, and the outfield at medium depth against Felice, who does have some home run power. You can't necessarily consider him a big bopper, but he can hit a few. 2-2 pitch, missing low. Look, maybe a little inside as well. 3-2 on the Barnstormers left fielder, Felice. And the question is Ross working on beefing up the outfield? Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled at the plate, and we'll get to do it all again. Felice plays 7 positions, but I've always felt he's a better infielder than outfielder. And I think that's panned out just in the first week of this season. Very smooth third baseman, but you've already got Cordero and Lair who play over there. And Felice generally in the outfield with either Clark and Zagunis or Clark and Torrance or Torrance and Zagunis. That's the way it's stacked up so far this year. 3-2 once again to Felice. Cassad will deliver, and it's fouled to the net. We get to do it all again. There have been some long at-bats. In fact, right now, Cassad is averaging 5.5 pitches per hitter, and he still hasn't dispatched Felice. 3-2, the motion and the pitch. Felice swings and lashes this down the left field line. That is a fair ball played down the stripe. Felice will go to second and beat the throw as 2-run score. Well, the Barnstormers are halfway back and might be able to do even more harm to Cassad and his defense here in the second inning. Anderson Felice, an opposite field double, knocks in 2. His 7th hit of the year, his 2nd double. And here is Lair, who's 0 for 7 in this series, and in fact does not have a base hit for 3 straight games. Aklinski had a long way to go to collect that double down the third baseline. Lair digs in. The Cassad pitch is taken for a ball. It's 1-0. And the Barnstormers with the chance to even draw right back into this game fully in this second inning. Lair pops it up foul. That'll get out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. 4-2 in favor of High Point. The Barnstormers taking advantage of some sloppy defense on the part of the Rockers here in the second inning. 2 errors, 1 on a throw from Ladendorf at short, the other on a misplay by Gonzalez at right. And now Trace Lair hits a ball in the air to center field. There with a fairly routine play is Field. Ben Aklinski hustling over to back up at third in case a throw was necessary. Lair goes away, but now Anthony Peroni comes in. Anthony is 2 for 13 on the young season. He has 1 run batted in. He was the DH the first couple of games in the absence of Kelly Dugan. This is his 2nd game, spelling Colton Shaver in back of the plate. Here's the delivery. Swung, and that ball is grounded to the shortstop. Felice has to hold a toss across the diamond by Ladendorf, and this time he gets it there perfectly. Bringing on Devon Torrance, the right fielder. Felice still parked at second base. He hasn't been able to move. Had the Lair fly ball gone a bit deeper into center, perhaps Anderson could have gotten to third and then scored on that ground ball, but you know what they say about ifs. Pitch low, blocked by Galino, who's a very fine defensive catcher. Torrance batting at 1-0. Devon's one hit this season, a double to left center field back on Friday night. He's been working out some as an infielder. He takes a lot of ground balls at second base. Not that the Barnstormers need a lot of help in the infield right now. They don't. That's the one area where it's pretty rock solid, especially with Mercedes at second. But it always helps, I should say, to develop versatility. 1-1, the count to Torrance. Felice leading off second. And that ball is smashed right back to the mound. Good stop made by Casadi, underhands. The Barnstormers get halfway and freeze. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. Felice left at second base. He's doubled in a pair. And through 1.5 tonight, High Point 4 and the Barnstormers 2.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 22nd through 25th for the induction of Bud Fowler, Gil Hodges, Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Buck O'Neill, and David Ortiz as the class of 2022. Visit baseballhall.org today for the
Hey kids, join the coolest club in town, the Storm Force. The Storm Force is presented by the Lancaster Barnstormers and Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids under 12 get an entire summer of Barnstormers fun with 12 game tickets, a t-shirt and bag, the chance to go first when kids run the bases, exclusive activities, and coupons from Dutch Wonderland, Chocolate World, and more. Don't miss out on all the fun. Go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and sign up.
4-2 our score. High Point in the lead as we head to the lower half of the second inning, and catcher Mike Galino to get things underway for the Rockers. Galino 0 for 3 in the series opener back on Tuesday, but he had some fun against Wild Health over the weekend. 5 for 6 against Genome's pitching. We got a lot done there. Interested to see how they ultimately assign earned runs to Casad. I'm going 1 earned, 1 unearned, but that's just my humble opinion. You could go with both unearned. That can be justified. Right now it's got both earned in the scorebook, but that's the default. You actually have to purposely enter unearned. There's no way the run scored by Dugan was earned. In any event, here is Galino to get things underway against Augie Silk, who had that string of 4 straight base hits against him back in the first inning. He sails one well outside. It is ball 1 here, 1-0. This game has had a pretty long start tonight. We're averaging about 23 pitches per half inning. And that won't get you on the bus headed home to Lancaster very quickly. Ball 2 misses. It is 2-0. Barnstormers have that trip facing them. Well, anyway, I mentioned that we had an eventful morning in that Wayne went out to service the bus and discovered a leak. The folks at Executive Coach have ties all over the country. They got a mechanic out, but they also had to find another bus to take us here from Greensboro. Ball 4 is outside. Galino walks as the leadoff batter in the bottom half of the second inning. And a local company came to our rescue, but the bus is fixed, and we'll be able to jump on it and travel on home following this game, getting ready to take on the York Revolution tomorrow night at 6:30 in the home opener, 80s night at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Just hope you don't have somebody with big hair sitting in front of you. Called strike now on the left-handed batting Gonzalez, 0-1. He was 2 for 4 with a double last night, 4 for 14 on the season thus far. Infield set, double play depth. Silk comes back, he deals, and there's an offer to bunt and a miss. Galino held his ground at first. If he had taken off, Peroni would have had a clean shot at him. Nothing in 2 to Gonzalez with Johnny Field waiting on deck. Silk will deliver, and a ball missing inside. 1 and 2 here. Augie back into his motion, and that is fired up and in. Gonzalez does the limbo, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brent Teller tomorrow night against left-hander Austin Nicely in the opener, the first of 32 against the Revs. Check swing, and the Barnstormers don't get any help. It is ball 3. 3 and 2. Galeno already on base. Johnny Field waiting on deck. Payoff pitch. Silk misses again. He's walked 2 in a row. The Barnstormers were going to activate Oscar De La Cruz today. In fact, technically, he is on the roster. But I guess for some reason they could not. It's possible that they couldn't arrange a physical for him down here. Mark Johnson using a mound visit in the 2nd inning. That the Barnstormers now have 16 pitchers. The bullpen runs incredibly deep. And unfortunately, Ross Peoples may be in a position where he has to use it once again. Cameron Gann worked 5 innings here on Tuesday night. And that is the only game so far this year in which the starter has lasted 5. So imagine if the double hook rule were in force and how dicey that could be. Runners lead from 1st and 2nd. Field steps in. Silk's pitch. Fastball high and outside, ball 1. And right now, it's beginning to look like a mechanical issue. More than anything else. The delivery, in at the knees, strike taken. And it is 1-1. Off a second is Galeno. Off first, Gonzalez. Inside and low, ball 2 and a strike now on Johnny Field. High Point is in a position to retake a lead of 4 or more after the Barnstormers drew halfway back in the top of the inning. Silk to the plate, and again, off the outside corner, 3 balls and a strike. He is beginning to struggle terribly here in this 2nd inning. The Barnstormers getting action in the bullpen with a lefty throwing. I can assure you at this stage of the game, it is the long man, Tommy Shirley. The motion, the pitch, cut on and popped up foul. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This next pitch, I think, means a lot toward the fortunes of the rest of the game. 3 balls, 2 strikes with runners at 1st and 2nd and nobody out. Runners take their leads. Here's the pitch. Silk delivers, and that is swung on and missed. Field out on strikes. Good recovery for Silk there. Picks up his 2nd strikeout of the evening. 1 out, and Michael Russell now stepping in. First and 2nd with 1 down. The offering swung on, smashed, and into left field for a base hit. Forced to hold at third is Galino as Felice comes up with that in a hurry. And now the bases are loaded for Jerry Downs, who singled into right center his first time up. Fifth hit off of Silk. 7 of the 11 Rockers have reached base so far tonight. Bases full, 1 out. Silk into the motion. He needs to get some outs here. He misses outside to Downs for a ball. It is 1-0. Lancaster's starting staff continues to labor. The bullpen will be fine. It's the outset of these games. Downs now with a fly ball out to left. Felice charging, comes in, makes the catch. Play maybe at the plate. The throw is in time to double up Michael Galino. Great job by Anderson Felice charging that play at the end and cutting loose the throw to double up Galino. Felice gets the Barnstormers out of the inning, 7-2 on the double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. The Rockers leave 2. Felice, a great throw home to Anthony Peroni to finish off the inning. And we will now go to the third. Still the Rockers 4 and the Barnstormers 2.
Hi everyone, Adam Gochenauer from Gochenauer Appliances, and I'm excited to tell you about a new addition to the Gochenauers family this summer season. We are now selling Titus gas grills. Titus gas grills gives you a high quality, all stainless steel grill at an affordable price, and the best thing is you can assemble it yourself in just 5 minutes. That's right, 5 minutes. Stop by to see this great grill now and mention this ad to receive a free gas grill cover with your Titus grill purchase. Gochenauers in East Petersburg.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack. Thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Offs, excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling. If it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Top of the order for the Barnstormers here in the third inning. Ladarius Clark, Melvin Mercedes, and Andretti Cordero stepping in. Tonight it's been all Anderson Felice, a 2-run double and an outfield assist. He's been single-handedly responsible for the Barnstormers staying in the game. Now Ladarius will try to get to Cooper Casad leading off here. Swing and a miss. No balls, 1 strike. Clark down looking back in the first inning. Casad signed with the Giants back in 18. He spent 2 years in their organization. The second strike is delivered. It's 0-2. He got to Double-A for 1 appearance. It was a very good appearance. He threw shutout baseball. This one snaps off the outside corner. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. He threw 4 shutout innings for the Richmond Flying Squirrels. Clark now with a line drive up for it, goes Russell to make the catch. Michael Russell with a good defensive play. Clark is robbed. Melvin Mercedes coming in. Mercedes is 0 for 1 on a ground ball to the second baseman, Russell. Cordero waiting on deck. Casad into the motion. Strike is taken. It's 0-1. The native of California against the New York City native, Melvin Mercedes, who takes a second strike. It's 0-2. The Barnstormers, the differential on walks is getting seemingly more absurd as we go. Lancaster has given up 36 on this road trip and drawn 10. Mercedes, the 0-2, ground ball. There is Russell. He'll get up and throw, and Mercedes can't get a ball past his counterpart. Michael Russell, a diving play on the longer piled green carpet of the outfield. Two men retired here in the top of the third, bringing on Andretti Cordero, who struck out back in the first inning. That's two very nice defensive plays for Russell starting off here in the third inning. First pitch to Andretti, a ball, 1-0. Casad already comes back. Swing and a miss there. It is a ball and a strike. Russell remains back. Casad into the motion. Russell knows he's got to creep up to the edge of the grass. That's a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kelly Dugan is on deck. 4-2 High Point leading. You watch Russell when he starts in between pitches, you think, well, he's violating the rules. But once that pitch is delivered, he is on the infield brown. All 4 infielders must have their feet on the dirt, or in this case, the brown carpet, when the pitch is served home. Still 1-2 on Cordero. Here is the wind and the pitch. Swung on, and that is chopped to third. Low throw made by Wheel, but it's managed by Downs. Top of the order goes down in 1-2-3 fashion for the second time in this game. Now at the end of 2.5, still 4-2 in favor of High Point.
It's no longer about answering the most emails or pulling the most all-nighters. It's about prioritizing what's most important.
Hey, Lexus, give me directions to Eagles Peak Hiking Trail. Calculating route.
That's why the Lexus NX has an interface engineered to understand you and an available 14-inch touchscreen that's simpler and more intuitive. The Lexus NX. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
Availability and accuracy of navigation system depends on many factors. Data charges may apply.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 22nd through 25th for the induction of Bud Fowler, Gil Hodges, Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Buck O'Neill, and David Ortiz as the class of 2022. Visit baseballhall.org today for the
Quincy Lattimore, Xander Wheel, and Ben Klinsky scheduled to face Augie Silk as we go to the bottom of the third inning. It is 4-2 in favor of the High Point Rockers. Lattimore will lead it off. They just announced a happy anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Lattimore, which I will go on the assumption that that is Quincy's mom and dad. He grew up in the Raleigh-Durham area, not terribly far away from here. I had a chance to meet Quincy earlier today. He is, you meet him, you understand why he's the fan favorite here in High Point. He is just such a congenial guy. Swung on, hit on the ground to the shortstop, backhanded play Lair. He'll fire across. Lattimore is cut down. One away, and Xander Wheel stepping in. Augie Silk's fortunes may have turned around tonight on not only the nice play for Felice out and left, coming in and snagging a fly ball, but far more so the throw. He got off the cut down Galino at the plate to keep the deficit at 2. Wheel steps in. The Barnstormers need to find a way to deal with him. Man who has 10 runs batted in already this year, 6 in the last 2 nights. First pitch strike to him here. It is 0-1 on the Nashville native Wheel. 2 homers and a double in this series. Of course, he had the inside the park home run last night. Strike again, and it's 0-2 on a ball hit back over the head of Mark Zagunis, and it hit the base of the wall. I think it may have hit just below the padding. There's a strip where it's probably a concrete fence back there. Swung on, popped up, foul territory, coming this way, and below me into the seats over on the first base side. Kelly Dugan over for a good look. 2 strikes the count. If it's going to hit off the padding, it dies against the wall, stays pretty much around the warning track. That's where Zagunis thought it was, but I think it hit the concrete below and kicked about 50 feet back to the infield. Swing, and there's a pop-up into shallow right. Mercedes back, Torrance is in, and look out, it falls between them. The communication lines weren't there. Digging for 3 is Wheel, and the throw gets away now from the third baseman, and Cordero can make no play at home, and Wheel bats, hits a ball to right field again, and ends up running around the bases. This time there will be an error involved, but good golly, it's 5-2 on what will be arguably a bloop triple for Wheel. He never slowed down. The bases were clear in front of him. He dove into third, and the throw was wide of Cordero, and springing up in a hurry was Xander Wheel. He comes all the way around. We'll see exactly the ruling on that play, but we do know that it is now 5-2 here at High Point as Torrance and Mercedes got tangled up in the line of communications. Boy, that has happened a lot in this series. A ball to Aklinski with a 2-run homer down the left field line. Back in the first inning, he now checks, and it's 2-0 to him. Aklinski digs back into the box. Augie Silk into his motion. And that pitch is delivered high and outside for ball 2, 2-1. It's a triple for Wheel and a throwing error by Torrance on the peg to third. Called strike. And scoreboard reads 2-2. Because they're down here also. And it's really sometimes difficult to gauge exactly what has happened at home plate. And apparently it was 2-2 because that was ball 3. Xander Wheel, now twice in 2 nights, has dropped the ball into right field and come all the way around to score. An inside the park home run last night, a triple and an error in this one. And ball 4 is now outside to Aklinski, bringing on Ladendorf. Third walk issued by Augie Silk. Wheel has 2 home runs, a double and a triple. And now another trip to the mound, and that is going to be it for Augie. Deserved better this inning. Play in right field should have been made on the shallow fly ball by Wheel. Tommy Shirley will be taking over here in the bottom half of the third. Pitching change is being made. It's 5-2 High Point. Back with you after these messages.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
One left-hander replacing another as Tommy Shirley replaces Augie Silk in the third inning here tonight. Runner at first base with one out, one run already home as High Point has extended the lead to 5-2 on what at the moment is an unearned run. 6 hits allowed by Silk in his 2 1/3 innings tonight. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. At the moment, 5 runs. At the moment, 4 earned. Depends on the outcome of this inning. Shirley comes on. Ladendorf at the plate. He struck out his first time up. Runner Bluffs doesn't go. And we get a swing and, at best, a minor foul tip off the right-handed stick of Tyler Ladendorf. Tommy Shirley, the Barnstormers' long man, out of the pen and probably getting ready to make some starts down the road. Pitch is outside. Throw down by Peroni is late, trying to get a Klinsky. So it is 1 ball and 1 strike. Shirley has thrown 2 2/3 innings so far. 7 hits, 4 earned runs. He's walked 1, struck out 2, gave up back-to-back home runs to Gastonia's infield tandem of Joseph Rosa and Luis Roman in his last appearance. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ladendorf. Mike Galino, the catcher, in the on-deck circle. High Point is up 5-2 with play in the bottom half of the third inning. Anderson Felice, the man of the night for the Barnstormers. That is up and away. One out in the inning. Ground ball to Cordero over at third, started it. Swung on and contact made. Ladendorf is able to stick around. Then the pop fly to right. Mercedes sprinting back. He can get to a lot. Torrance coming in, and they both pulled off. The ball landed, bounced high off the turf. Wheel never stopped running. He was going to get to third on the bloop triple. There's a ground ball. That is a fair ball inside the bag at third, down the line. Sprinting around is a Klinsky, and now the ball gets deeper into the corner. A Klinsky will score. Ladendorf with an RBI double, and it's now 6-2. And that will close out the books on Augie Silk. 6 runs, 6 earned. They're able to take extra bases on the Barnstormers. The extra base hit parade continues. That is 4 tonight, following 9 a night ago. Ladendorf with his second extra base hit now of the series. And Mike Galino steps in. He walked his first time up. Ladendorf, the runner at second base with 1 out. Tommy Shirley will bring it to the plate. The pitch is outside, throw down to second, and Mercedes takes it and has to take a long stride over the diving runner Ladendorf coming back in. Ball 1, no strikes, the count on Galino. 6-2. The Barnstormers had picked up a couple of runs in the top of the second, but now once again trail by 4. Shirley will deliver. He will miss the inside corner for ball 2. I will say this, it is a bit more temperate out here tonight than it was last night. I have not donned my extra layer so kindly provided by Stephen Amy Ditzler last night as of yet, but it's coming. Outside, and we get the 3-0 on Galeno. These last few days on this road trip, really now 7 days, have not gone well for the Barnstormers. Ball 4 is served up inside to Galeno. Runners are at first and second. Shirley has yet to pick up an out, and that really has to have Ross squirming. You know how much left-handed pitchers are prized at Clipper Magazine Stadium. And Silk and Shirley both struggle here tonight. Zepchinski had a difficult time throwing strikes off this turf mound. He walked 2 in the bottom half of the 8th inning here on Tuesday, and ultimately that led to the tying run scoring. 1 out in this inning, 2 men are on, and that pitch did not satisfy Calvin Baker either. It's ball 1. Ledendorf at second, Galeno aboard at first base. 6-2 Rockers, and Shirley's pitch is a strike. Johnny Field, the center fielder, waits on deck. Infield set, looking to turn 2. Playing Gonzalez to pull, swing and a miss. And Shirley's ahead of him at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jake Hoover appears to be just to the other side of the second base bag. Again, it can be so difficult to tell from this angle. Shirley delivers away, and it's 2-2. 18th batter for the High Point Rockers in just the 3rd inning. And Field will get up for the 3rd time in the game unless the Barnstormers can turn a double play here. Foul back by Gonzalez. We remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Triple by Wheel on a shallow pop fly to right that eluded the defenders, and the subsequent throwing error. There have been 2 walks around a Ledendorf double. Tommy Shirley working 2-2 to Jay Gonzalez. That is fouled back. Will stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. .6:30 tomorrow night. I hope everybody has the plans to come on out. But again, bring an extra layer of clothing. Expected to get abnormally chilly for the end of April. Once again to Gonzalez, 2-2. The pitch swung at, and another ball poked foul. The outs are not coming easily for the Barnstormers here tonight. We talk about this being the 18th batter. Well, 11 of the first 17 have gotten on base. Barnstormers able to turn the 1 double play on the fly ball last inning to pick up 2 outs on the same batter. Swing and, another foul. Gonzalez continues to spoil Shirley. Lancaster only 2-14 in this ballpark. Little bit more success at Clipper Magazine Stadium with a record of 6-11. The delivery and ball 3. So Shirley has run out the string here as well. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just 1 out in the inning. Three and 2. The wind, Shirley to the plate, and that ball is smashed to deep left center field. Sprinting back for all he's worth is Clark. The ball past him, hopping out to the wall. This is going to be 2 more runs for the High Point Rockers as Ledendorf and Galeno score. Gonzalez doubles in 2, and it is now 8-2 on yet another extra base hit. That is 5 on the night. 2 runs charged to Shirley. Johnny Field will step to the plate. On Sunday, the Barnstormers gave up 13 runs in the first 3 innings. Tonight it is 8, but High Point is not finished. A 4-run third so far to match a 4-run first, and still just 1 man out. The effects of the error have long since been negated, although if the ball had been caught in the first place, we wouldn't be worried about the error, and perhaps, just perhaps, this inning wouldn't have had such a bad tone established, and we might still be in a 4-2 ball game. Easier said than done. Lines of communication definitely got tangled out in shallow right. Gonzalez, the runner at second. Peroni is out to talk to Shirley once more, now back. No timeout is charged. The Barnstormers have used 1. Here's the pitch, and that is badly high and outside the field. Ball 1, no strikes. I asked this question last night, and this is my baseball head speaking, and certainly not my heart speaking. But when do you hit the panic button? Fly ball hit extremely well again. Back on this goes Felice. Back goes Clark. And the ball stays in the yard, but it's going to be yet another double. Ringing off the boards in left. Field drives in Gonzalez, and it is now 9-2. The extra base hits just keep coming. That is 3 doubles now off of Tommy Shirley, who is yet to claim an out. Michael Russell will come to the plate. He is 1 for 2. And when it gets to this extent, there are so many things that can run through your head. Are the pitchers tipping off what they are sending, or is the catcher tipping them off? And that's on you. That's not the other team stealing signs. And I'm not saying necessarily that there is espionage involved in any way, but if you are tipping your pitches, something in your mechanics, and the other team is savvy enough to pick it up, and you've got a lapse in your security system. Johnny Field now the runner at second base. The Barnstormers have used their second time out of the game. They trail by now 7 here in the bottom of the third inning. Michael Russell, the batter, he is 1 for 2. Shirley to the plate, and that ball is smashed. And up the middle, base hit center field. Here comes Field making the turn. Clark's throw is late, knocked down by Peroni. On to second on the throw goes Russell, and we have ourselves a 10-2 game. The last 2 nights, it's been an all-out assault on the Barnstormers pitching staff. There's only been one that has survived. Tyler Laporte faced 4 batters last night, got 4 outs. He did hit one and got a double play right afterwards. Other than that, it has been absolutely savage here these past 2 nights. 14-0 a night ago with 8 trips to the plate for the Rockers. Tonight it is 10-2. Here in the bottom of the third inning, Jerry Downs stepping in. And remember, there's still only 1 out, and that was the first batter of the inning. The pitch misses, and it's ball 1. It was Downs who flied into the double play that closed out the second. The bases had been loaded at that point. And now 7 straight High Point Rockers have reached base, beginning with that pop fly that dropped into shallow right. Here's a pitch. Downs cuts, and he misses. Shirley has allowed 4 hits and 2 walks. And at this stage, Ross Peoples is going to stick with him. Next offering, there's a swing and a ground ball, base hit into right center field. Another throw coming home from Ladarius. That is late. Downs picks up Russell with a base hit. And it continues here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Now a 7-run inning for High Point. 8 consecutive batters have reached base. Quincy Lattimore started this off with a ground out. And we're going to have a trip to the mound. Barnstormers, I guess down there, my view was blocked. There was somebody throwing, in fact, one of the right-handers, but people straight behind the bullpen mound, and I couldn't pick up the contrast. Well, the Barnstormers go back to the bullpen, 2nd time this inning. We'll identify who's coming in just a moment. It is 11-2 High Point here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning.
Lancaster County Motors Subaru once again presents the Subaru Outdoor Experience. Located along the first base line, this space welcomes fans to a different experience while attending games. The Subaru Outdoor Experience focuses on creating social engagement among the fans. Fans will identify with the Subaru Outdoor Experience, which includes games like life-size Jenga, shuffleboard, ping pong, giant checkers, and bocce ball, along with an art wall of kayak, bike, and recycling arts parts and information, a dog-kissing booth, a barbershop corner, and opportunities to engage with the local business that made this unique space possible. Come enjoy the games while watching the game.
Rock with the 5-time Tony Award-nominated musical Rock of Ages at Dutch Apple Dinner Theater, April 22nd through May 14th. When a development company plans to turn the Sunset Strip into another strip mall, it's up to a group of wannabe rockers to save the day and the music. With music from Styx, Bon Jovi, Poison, and more, Rock of Ages features all your favorite 80s rock anthems and power ballads. How can you resist? Call 717-898-1900 or visit DutchApple.com to reserve your tickets today.
Seven runs are home in the bottom half of the 3rd inning as the Barnstormers go back to the bullpen. Tommy Shirley, this unbelievable to me, could not get an out on 6 hitters. Quincy Lattimore, the batter, with Jerry Downs at first, still just 1 out in the inning. Lattimore way back when. And now this pitch is high for a ball, 1-0. Tyler Sullentrop has come on for the Barnstormers. He has been terrific so far. 1-0. Pitch cut on and fouled away. Big rip. It is a ball and a strike on Lattimore. Right-hander taking his time now, delivers and gets a second strike across. We go to 1-2. Sullentrop has been a very pleasant surprise. Young man signed by the Barnstormers just prior to the season. Coming out of the single-A level. Now there's a ball hit in the air, right field, way back. This one goes, and the walls will not contain it. So we're just about to read off Sullentrop's clean numbers. 1 hit, no runs in 3 1/3 innings, and he gives up an oppo to Quincy Lattimore. And it is now 13-2. Those 6 runs off of Shirley. Sullentrop gives up the opposite field home run. Boy, what do you do from here? And we're back around to Wheel, who hit that fly ball. It dropped into shallow right, creating havoc. Sullentrop delivers. That is cut on and fouled away. Something extraordinary happening right now. This is a 9-run inning. The last 9 batters have reached base. Way inside. Ball 1 and strike 1. The count on Wheel, who has a double and a triple tonight. Remember, nobody has ever hit for the cycle against the Barnstormers in a game. 3 Barnstormers have done it over the years. Strike is taken. And Sullentrop emerges into the lead at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 13-2, bottom half of the 3rd inning. The offering there is a swing and a miss. And finally, after 9 in a row reach, Tyler Sullentrop is able to record the second out here in this bottom half of the 3rd inning. Aklinski will come to the plate. He's hit a 2-run homer tonight and has also drawn a walk. Aklinski and Lattimore with home runs. Up and in for a ball. 1-0 to the left fielder. Aklinski has played right and left in this series, but we've also seen him play the infield last year with Lexington. Called strike in at the knees. It is 1-1. Sullentrop at least able to get the second out on the board with the strikeout of Wheel. The 6'3" right-hander from Plantation, Florida, just to the west of Fort Lauderdale, fires, and it's ball 2 inside. 2-1. Silk through 58 pitches, Shirley 26. It's been a long night for the Barnstormers staff already. And the pitch swung at and missed. 2 outs in the inning, nobody on base. Leidendorf is on deck. Sullentrop way inside. Peroni chases it to the backstop. Aklinski opts not to take that free Atlantic League offer of going to first base on such a pitch. Could you imagine? We have this possibility tonight, by the way, the way this game is going. Somebody hitting for the cycle by getting a base hit on that. Wow, that would be part of baseball history. Here's a 3-2, and he didn't go on the swing, and it's outside, ball 4. Aklinski walks for the second time in the inning. It'll bring on Ladendorf, who has struck out and doubled home a run. For High Point, the 13th batter here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. First pitch fouled off. It's 0-1. The set, high and outside. Ball 1, strike 1. fouled over the seats on the first base side. 1 and 2, and a chance now to get out of this painful bottom of the third inning. No longer realistically a contest here at 13-2. Sullentrop deals, and we get a ground ball to the shortstop. Lair will wisely go the short route, get the force out at second base, 6-4. It is a 9-run inning, though, built on 7 hits. There was 1 error, 1 runner is left on base. We have come to the end of 3 here at Truist Point with the score, the High Point Rockers 13 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 2.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org. See you in Cooperstown, where the journey becomes legend.
They say to truly understand someone, you must walk a mile in their shoes. Well, at Lexus, we designed the ES with you in mind every step of the way. From class-leading legroom in the back to positioning the touchscreen 4 inches closer to you in the front. Everything in the Lexus ES, a direct reflection of you. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
2022 ES versus 2021-2022 competitors. Information from manufacturers' websites as of 5/3/2021.
For the youth of our area, the Barnstormers are offering a wide variety of camps throughout the summer to teach everyone some tips on baseball and softball. Camps are offered to kids as young as 4 and as old as 12. Some even involve the parents. They run from June 11th all the way through September 17. For more information, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and click on the Youth Baseball tab. All presented by Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster and Play It Again Sports.
Home opener coming up tomorrow night at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Be out there for the festivities. And again, make sure that you have that extra layer of clothing, or even better, run to the gift shop and check out the new items. The Inside Corner Team Store, see what they've got this year, and bring something with you. Kelly Dugan will lead off the Barnstormers half of the fourth. He has reached on an error and scored here tonight. 0 for 1 for Kelly in the game. 13-2 Rockers leading. 13 runs on 12 hits with 2 errors, 3 left. And for Lancaster, 2 runs, 2 hits with an error and 1 runner left on base. Into the line is Cassad to Dugan. Swung on and line foul down into my neighborhood. 1 ball and 1 strike. I met Quincy Lattimore. This is a running joke I have with whether it's my own guys or opposing teams' players. If they're loosening up with a bat and I'm trying to get by them in some kind of narrow corridor where I could potentially be in harm's way, as Dugan lifts a pop-up over on the left side, the third baseman wheel goes over, and just like he did once last night, makes a catch just before arriving at the screen. There's your first out here in the fourth inning as Dugan fouls out. And the batter is the designated hitter, Colton Shaver. He singled in right back in the second. So I was trying to get around Quincy Lattimore, and he was loosening up for BP, swinging a bat as they do this way and that, loosening up with it in their hands. And I really couldn't get by. So my running joke in a situation like that, once I am spotted as Shaver takes a ball outside, is say, look, if you're going to hit me, make it good. Put me out of my misery. And Quincy just grinned, and what a congenial fellow he is. Pop up to second base, easily managed by Michael Russell. 2 are out. Anderson Felice will come to the plate. Felice has had himself quite a game so far with an outfield assist. And on a play at the plate and also a 2-run double to left down the line. Good for the Barnstormers' 2 markers back in the second inning that got Lancaster close. At that point, they had a runner at second, nobody out, pulled within 4-2, and it's all deteriorated. Ball is outside to Felice, 1-0. Quincy Lattimore and I have both been with the Bowie Bay Sox in the Eastern League, though at different times. We were sharing some of the stories about that. 3-0 now on Anderson Felice, who has also been with the Bowie Bay Sox over the years. Anderson jumps out of the way and gets rung up for a strike on the inside corner as we get to 3-1. Here's a pitch, and Felice lines this out to left. Coming on for it is Aklinski, and he makes the catch. 1-2-3 go the Barnstormers in the top half of the 4th inning. Nothing doing here. We're 3.5 in the books with the score 13-2 High Point.
This season offers a whole line of new items from Otto's Hospitality. Dig into the world-famous Nathan's Hot Dogs. Take a trip to Otto's Cantina for a walking taco or your favorite adult beverage. Enjoy a helmet of Otto's meatballs or a sausage with peppers from the Broken Bat Deck. For the sweet tooth, there are jumbo chocolate chip cookies, Skyline cotton candy, and ice cream novelties. Or simply snack on Emma's popcorn in a variety of exciting flavors. What a great way to savor your time at the ballpark, courtesy of Otto's.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 22nd through 25th for the induction of Bud Fowler, Gil Hodges, Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Buck O'Neill, and David Ortiz as the class of 2022. Visit baseballhall.org today for the
Barnstormers bring this game to the bottom of the 4th with Galeno, Gonzalez, and Field to step in against Tyler Sullentrop, who goes long. Galeno has walked twice already in the game, scoring once, and he was thrown out at the plate back in the 2nd inning. Lower half of number 4. And right now, if you're the Barnstormers, you probably just want to speed this game along with the 7-hour overnight trip back to Clipper Magazine Stadium and hoping for some better results against York. The Revs have not gotten off to a great start this year either. Ball up and away to Galeno. 1-0 here from Tyler Sullentrop, who did get the last 2 outs last inning. But now he misses, and it's ball 2 and no strikes. Very little has gone right for the Barnstormers pitching staff over the last few days. Balls dropping in all over the outfield. Home runs have been hit. The strikes have not been coming with regularity, and now Galeno working on his 3rd walk. He's at 3-0. And if you're Ross, the question you have to ask, what do you fix first? I mean, there are some serious holes in the dike at this point. Ball 4 is up and in. That is the 2nd walk issued by Sullentrop, the 6th given up by Barnstormers pitching in the game. Here's the right fielder, Jay Gonzalez. He is walked and doubled to center, driving in 2. And Sullentrop misses with his 5th straight, starting off the 4th inning. High Point leads 13-2. The Barnstormers in this, the last 4 games. We'll just focus on the last 4 and add tonight. Sullentrop missing again. They've been outscored. This is the worst I can ever remember in a 5-game stretch, worse than any point last year, even in that 11-game losing streak in September. They've been outscored 53-11. 7th in a row out of the zone from Sullentrop. Think about that, 53-11. That's an average of 11-2. And one of the games was 5-4. The extra inning contest here on Tuesday. 3 balls and nothing. Sullentrop will bring it home and find the zone. Getting it over to Gonzalez, 3-1 the count. Johnny Field waits on deck. He'll bat for the 4th time in 4 innings. And he's likely not to be alone. 3-1 pitch, cut on and fouled, full count. Working to Jay Gonzalez in for the 2nd straight night in right field. He sat on Tuesday. Lattimore played left. And Aklinski played right. 3-2 pitch, stung foul. Third base side. We stay at 3-2. The good news is tomorrow night there will be baseball, and I think the Barnstormers will be glad to get back home. That's first and foremost. I definitely anticipate seeing something better tomorrow night. Ground ball to the middle. Lair steps to the bag at second, throws to first. He's got a double play on Gonzalez. 6 unassisted to 3. 2 are gone, and in will step Johnny Field, so he may be the only guy to bat 4 times in 4 innings. 1 out of 3, a double and a run batted in for Field. I am told that there is one move in the works for tomorrow. Called strike to the inner edge. It is 0-1. I'm not going to announce it until it is approved by League President Rick White. Popped up. Foul territory, first base side. There's Kelly Dugan. Sullentrop, after giving up the home run to Lattimore to start his night, has settled down and pitched pretty well, working his way around a couple of walks. No runs here, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. We're done with 4 here at High Point, 13-2 in favor of the Rockers.
Being over 55 does not mean a ticket, it means 10 with the Silver Stormers Club presented by the Lancaster Barnstormers and Audiology Associates of Lancaster. Anyone 55 and over can enjoy baseball action at every Tuesday home game for only $50 on the season. That is nearly a 70% savings. Members also receive a special Silver Stormers t-shirt to wear proudly at the stadium. For more information or to sign up, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and look in the season tickets section.
Rock with the 5-time Tony Award-nominated musical Rock of Ages at Dutch Apple Dinner Theater, April 22nd through May 14th. When a development company plans to turn the Sunset Strip into another strip mall, it's up to a group of wannabe rockers to save the day and the music. With music from Styx, Bon Jovi, Poison, and more, Rock of Ages features all your favorite 80s rock anthems and power ballads. How can you resist? Call 717-898-1900 or visit DutchApple.com to reserve your tickets today.
Elsewhere in the Atlantic League, Long Island defeated Charleston in a day game. 10-6 was the final score. Anderson De Leon over Joe Testa. 53-19 at Appalachian Power Park. Great crowd for the daytime game for the Charleston Dirty Birds. Gastonia leading Wild Health tonight 5-1 in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Southern Maryland is up 1-0 over Staten Island in the fifth. York leads Lexington this evening 8-0 in the fifth inning. With arguably the ace for the Revs, Alex Sanabia on the hill, one-time big leaguer. First pitch of this inning is lined to center field and a base hit for Trace Lair, who finally breaks out of his drought. Leadoff man is on for the Barnstormers in the fifth. And at this point, swing aggressively against a guy who throws a ton of strikes in Cooper Cassad and just see what might happen. You might get lucky. You might start getting some extra base hits, something to break the ice here. Lair is aboard. Peroni the batter. Anthony grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Cassad deals up and in for a ball. It is 1-0. The other weird thing that happened today this was in transitioning buses because everybody had to take anything they were going to not need at the stadium and put that on our regular bus, which will be back here. It'll transport us home. And then anything coming to the stadium had to go on the borrowed bus for the afternoon. And in the process, we nearly had the worst possible of mishaps. I don't want to get into the details. I don't want to name names. But it was one of those things where for a second, I sucked my breath in because I saw the whole thing develop and could do nothing about it. 2-1, and a second strike is dealt. It's 2-2, but we nearly had a very unfortunate mishap. And realistically, no matter what happens tonight, the fact that we managed to escape earlier today without a severe injury or any injury at all, as Peroni now gets the 3 balls and 2 strikes, we can be grateful for that. Kind of dodged a bullet in a way. Here's the 3-2 with a runner at first. Peroni with a swing and a fly ball hit out to right field. The wind carries it some, but Gonzalez draws a bead. He makes the catch, and back to first goes Lair. 1 out with a runner on. Devon Torrance will come to the plate. Torrance retired on a comebacker in the second inning. Four runs in the first for High Point, 9 in the third inning off of 3 different pitchers. Cassad goes to work on Torrance, batting left. That's fouled away. No balls and 1 strike. Top half of inning 5 with 1 out and 1 on. High Point has spent the lion's share of the hour and 37 minutes or so that we've been playing at the plate. Sharp line drive and a base hit for Torrance. Scooping it up is Gonzalez. Lair will park at second. Devon Torrance with a base hit. And as I thought might be the case, the Barnstormers swinging aggressively against Cassad, who with the huge lead is going to be throwing the ball into the zone for the most part. Here's Ladarius, who was robbed on a leaping catch by Russell back in the third inning. And then Russell made a diving stop against the man on deck, Melvin Mercedes. And after that, the 9-run inning happened. High and tight, ball 1 and no strikes to Ladarius. Lair at second, Torrance at first, next offering. And Clark with a swing and a miss. He started his season with a home run at Gastonia. Has not been able to match that and is now 2 out of 16 since. First and second with 1 out here. And to Clark, a foul away. Second strike to the Barnstormers center fielder. Mercedes waiting on deck. Melvin Mercedes has spent the bulk of his series here hitting fungos to the second baseman, Michael Russell. He can't get anything past him, it seems. Russell's had a lot of assists against Melvin in these 3 games. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and to Clark. That, too, is fouled off. We will continue with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. It was a busy day around Major League Baseball. A lot of finals have been turned in at the big league level. San Diego beat Cincinnati 7-5. That was the first game to start today. 2-2. Now to Clark. Milwaukee trimmed Pittsburgh 3-2. Philadelphia 7-1 over Colorado. That's been a tremendous series for the Phillies. 3-2 Miami over Washington. Clark gets ball 3, and the Barnstormers are not far from having the bases loaded here for Melvin Mercedes. The Yankees dumped Baltimore 10-5. 2-1 Tampa Bay over Seattle. Minnesota red hot 7-1 beating the Tigers. Houston 3, Texas 2. Here's the pitch. Clark draws the walk. Casad suddenly in trouble here in the 5th inning. A guy who simply does not give up many walks in the situation where you expect him to throw nothing but strikes, and he walks Clark after having him 0-2. And now Melvin Mercedes steps in. Mercedes is 0-2, and you guessed it, ground balls to Michael Russell. It seems like more. It's just 4 ground outs. Quick visit to the mound to talk things over with Casad, probably reminding him to take a peek over his left shoulder at the scoreboard. You're up by 11, you throw strikes. Walks can lead to huge innings. Mercedes, the batter, trying to drive in some runs. He has 2 knocked in on the season. Lara's at third, Torrance at second, Clark the runner at first. Casad focusing in on the signals being given to him by Galeno. Here is the motion and the pitch. And that is ball 1 to Mercedes, who is very good at drawing the base on balls. He's got a patient mindset at the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Ball 2 is high and outside to Melvin. It's 2-0. Kansas City over the White Sox in 10, 5-2. Toronto a 1-0 shutout victory over the Boston Red Sox. The Angels beat Cleveland 4-1. Lancaster a chance to score here. Bases loaded. 1 out, 2-0 to Mercedes. And he gets ball 3 as all of a sudden Casad has lost his location. (3-0). Mercedes likely to take here. He does and gets a strike. The count works to 3-1. Lefty Bryce Hensley begins to warm up in the bullpen. Down below for the High Point Rockers. Mercedes goes for the 3-1, pops this up into foul territory. It goes out of play down the left field side. Casad has battled back to 3-2. Andretti Cordero waits on deck. Lair at third, Torrance at second. Clark is the runner aboard at first base. Top half of the 5th inning, the Barnstormers down by 11, but with the opportunity to draw a bit closer here. 3-2, Mercedes backs out of the way, gets ball 4 inside. It will force home a run. Lair jogs across. Andretti Cordero is due. It's now 13-3. Back-to-back walks given up by Casad. And again, it's worth mentioning that we're talking about a guy who averaged barely 2 walks per 9 innings last year with the automated ball strike system. and hadn't walked anybody in his first start of this season. He's in trouble here. And to Cordero, ball one is low. 1-0. Still a pretty good size cushion, of course, for the High Point Rockers, but Lancaster could lop a pretty good chunk off of the lead with this fifth inning. 13-3 our score. And it is low for ball two. 2 singles followed by 2 walks around the flyout by Peroni, and that ball was hit well. Two balls, no strikes. And Cordero swings away and hits a ground ball to Russell. They'll get the out at second. Throw back to first is in time for the double play. And the rally is cut short. 4-6-3 on the DP. And the Barnstormers are only able to score 1 run in the inning on 2 hits with no errors. They strand 2. So we're halfway through regulation now. 4.5 in the books. And it's 13-3, High Point leading.
Are you sick and tired of washers that don't use enough water or take 2 hours to clean and don't last more than a few years? Well, come into Gockenauers in East Petersburg now and let us show you the Speed Queen commercial grade laundry. Built the old-fashioned way with warranties up to 7 full years. Gockenauers will deliver and install your new Speed Queen, and we know you'll be fully satisfied with your purchase. Gockenauers in East Petersburg, your hometown dealer for 73 years.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Knockoffs, copycats, imitators. They all share one thing in common. They always pale in comparison next to the true original. Just like the stylish and versatile Lexus RX. The crossover that paved the way for others. And it's still the best for one simple reason. Nothing else is as good as the original. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
Well, the Barnstormers go back to the bullpen. Chase Johnson comes on. And I'm not sure I want to put the hex on him that I put on Sullentrop. So I'm not going to give you the numbers just yet. Sullentrop went through an inning and 2/3, giving up 1 hit. That was the home run by Lattimore that greeted him. He walked 2 and struck out 1. So his numbers will not be seriously damaged. Chase Johnson, the slender right-hander from Southern California, a more rural community of Fallbrook. He was saying that it's horse country out where he lives, in between LA and San Diego and a bit to the west. Johnson went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo to pitch collegiately. He was recruited by Wake Forest, so he did visit the campus. He says it's beautiful right in this area in Winston-Salem. Here is the second baseman, Russell, 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI. Johnson's pitch jams him, and he fouls it off his foot. It's 0-1. Chase Johnson with AAA experience last year at El Paso, and he'd been in AAA with the Giants. Prior to that at Sacramento. Borderline getting to the major leagues at his career. Now trying to regroup here in the Atlantic League. He did not have the best of seasons at El Paso. Fastball for a second strike. It is 0-2. And I'm not going to run through his stats because I did with Sullentrop, and Lattimore hit the home run off of him, and that's not the first time on this road trip that a relief pitcher has been greeted by a home run. It's happened repeatedly. Ball just outside, wasted by Johnson, but it was close enough to have Russell thinking. Ball 1, 2 strikes. If Johnson had come to Wake Forest, he probably would have encountered Michael Russell. I'd have to check to see how the years line up. Michael Russell from UNC. Ground ball. The second baseman, Mercedes, will charge and cut loose the throw. Russell retired, and Melvin, for the second time tonight, gets to return the favor. Jerry Downs stepping in. He's 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and a run batted in. The left-hander Hensley again warming up in the bullpen for the High Point Rockers. Talk to the people around here, and they really appreciate what Jamie Keefe primarily has done over the history of this franchise, albeit brief, in bringing good people in here, as the Barnstormers do in Lancaster. This is a very friendly team. Not only was I talking to Quincy Lattimore today, Ben Aklinski walked over, and he introduced himself to me. Logan Morrison did the same thing, and Bryce Hensley is he's a friendly guy. I've been talking to him the last couple of days, usually when I've been chatting with Frank Viola. Jamie and Frank are extremely friendly, engaging people. And it's just the character of this team. I believe I told this story before, but the first time the Rockers came to Clipper Magazine Stadium opening weekend 2019, I'll continue that in a second. 2-0 from Johnson, fouled back into the net. 2 balls and a strike to Jerry Downs. Blake Glass, our great clubhouse manager, told me to come over to the visiting locker room, or go over to the visiting locker room. I had to check it out, and I was expecting to see trash everywhere, pizza on the carpet, pizza on the couches. I don't know what I was expecting. Papers everywhere. Instead, it was neat as a pin. That's the way the Rockers leave the clubhouse when they depart town. Bouncing ball, foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And if that doesn't say something about a team's character, I don't know what does. Yeah, you still have to vacuum, but the stools are all hung up in the lockers. All the trash is thrown out. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Meanwhile, total shift on against Jerry Downs. Cordero is practically to second base. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Do I dare tell you Chase Johnson's numbers yet? I'm undecided. He's retired 2 batters here. 3 2/3 innings, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. I'm going to risk it. Keep your fingers crossed. 2 are outs. Here's Quincy Lattimore, who greeted Sullentrop with the home run back in the 3rd inning. 2 out of 3 tonight for Lattimore. Grew up in Raleigh, an hour and a half or so to the east of here. Maybe a little bit less than that. All these cities string together in North Carolina. Along the interstates, you can go along Raleigh and Durham, and Burlington is in here somewhere. Then Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem. And then you can go down 85 towards Charlotte, and eventually you hit the likes of Kannapolis before you get to Charlotte. There's a tremendous amount, and there always has been, minor league baseball in the state of North Carolina. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lattimore. Johnson into his motion, the pitch, and that stays inside for ball 2. 2-1 to Lattimore with Xander Wheel on deck. Wheel and Aklinski have arguably had the biggest series here. Our score is 13-3 in the bottom of the 5th. Johnson to the plate. Beautiful breaking ball. Lattimore just got a piece of it. 2 outs, nobody on here in the 6th inning. The Rockers got to the Barnstormers lefties for 12 runs in 2 1/3 innings tonight. And the pitch delivered, fly ball right field. Coming on is Torrance. He is there. Chase Johnson gets it done, a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom half of the 5th. So apparently avoided putting the whammy on him by waiting a couple of batters. We go to the 6th. The score, High Point 13 and Lancaster 3.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Five innings logged tonight. It's 13-3 in favor of High Point. Cooper Cassad has completed his night. He worked 5 innings. The Barnstormers picked up 4 hits against him. Just 1 for extra bases, the double by Felice. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. 2 of the 3 runs were earned. Left-hander Bryce Hensley taking over. Hensley from Asheville, North Carolina. Double-A with the Kansas City Royals, as high as he got. He's 26 years of age. Second appearance of the series for Hensley. He threw the 7th inning of the series opener and retired the side in order, facing Clark, Hoover, and Mercedes. He gets Dugan, Shaver, and Felice in the top half of the 6th tonight. Well, it looked like the Barnstormers were going to knock the lead down substantially in the top of the 5th inning, and all of a sudden Cordero ahead in the count, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play, and that took the steam out of that. Now here is Dugan, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Reached on an error and scored in the 2nd inning, fouled out in the 4th. Hensley into the motion. Dugan swings and fouls that near home plate. No balls and 1 strike here. And tonight, we're certainly on a pace for better than 3 hours. Gotten 2 games in on this road trip in under 3. I think we had the first 9 innings on Tuesday in and under 3. Fouled away, it's quickly 0-2 on Dugan. He has 3 hits in the series. So do Shaver and Felice. They share the lead in success down here. Dugan with a fly ball the other way. Retreating on it is Aklinski. Other nights, that has a chance to go to the opposite field because the prevailing wind here in High Point is out to left, and the ball typically travels really well in that direction, but it has not necessarily done so here this week. The wind more blowing in from left tonight. 1 out here is Colton Shaver, who is 1 for 2 with a run scored. Hensley goes to work. Shaver swings away, hits a ground ball foul up the 3rd baseline for strike 1. Back in the comforts of home tomorrow, and the Barnstormers looking for a turnaround in the fortunes. I used this line last night, but our trip down south has definitely gone south in a hurry. Fly ball, foul by Shaver coming my way, and bangs off a railing just to my right. Make it strike two as Shaver missed me by about, 25 feet or so. Balls can come up here. I witnessed one back in 2019 in one of the games. I wasn't sitting out here. The ball hit the window right behind me. Ball is low. Shaver stands in at 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's like foul balls coming back in Somerset, the only ballpark in the league where I could get a foul in the booth. There's a line drive into right center field, a base hit, and that escapes the center fielder. Field coming over, getting on through to Gonzalez. Shaver, who might have been going to second anyway, takes the opportunity to grab the extra base, and we'll see how this one is scored. Clearly a base hit for Colton, his 4th now of the series. It was in the alley. Field went to dig it up in right center field. As of the moment, no errors posted. The Barnstormers with a runner in scoring position, and stepping in is Anderson Felice, who has a 2-run double, and he's also lined out the left. Here is the delivery, and it is a strike taken as Felice bats from the right side of the plate. Shaver with the drive toward the gap in right center field, and as far as we know, it has gone down as a double. The motion, the pitch, and Felice with a ball smashed toward the middle, handled by the shortstop Ladendorf. Felice retired 6-3. 2 are gone, and Trace Lair will step in. Lair is 1 for 2 with a run scored. Hensley works to the plate, and he's low to Trace. Ball 1-0. And a strike to the outside corner, 1-1. The start to this season is not weighing terribly heavily on the guys yet, at least not outwardly. Lair goes too far, it's 1-2, but I'm sure somewhere down inside it is burning and everybody trying to figure out, what can I do better? Very few are off to good starts here, not the kind of start that they planned on anyway. 1 ball, 2 strikes continuing to Lair after that foul ball. One ball, 2 strikes. Shaver leads off second. The pitch. Full swing and a foul ball back to the top of the net, straight behind the plate. And we continue at 1-2. 9-run third, the undoing of this game. It's just the early innings, night after night after night. To Lair. Breaking ball, dances off the outside corner. It might have stayed high as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shaver had the double to right center earlier in the inning. Leads off second base. Lair swings, grounds this to the second baseman. Russell kept busy all night long, and he will retire Lair 4-3, closing out the 6th. No runs on a hit, no errors. The Barnstormers leave 1. And as we come to the middle of the 6th inning, the score is still 13-3 High Point.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 22nd through 25th for the induction of Bud Fowler, Gil Hodges, Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Buck O'Neill, and David Ortiz as the class of 2022. Visit baseballhall.org today for
Hey kids, join the coolest club in town, the Storm Force. The Storm Force is presented by the Lancaster Barnstormers and Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids under 12 get an entire summer of Barnstormers fun with 12 game tickets, a t-shirt and bag, the chance to go first when kids run the bases, exclusive activities, and coupons from Dutch Wonderland, Chocolate World, and more. Don't miss out on all the fun. Go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and sign up.
Bottom half of the sixth inning, Wheel, Aklinski, and Ledendorf scheduled against Chase Johnson. And I've got to think Ross Peoples is just having another cause of heartburn by having to use Johnson for a couple of innings here tonight, which will largely wipe him out if needed against York tomorrow. Meanwhile, Ryan Dull, whom we saw 2 nights ago, warms up in the bullpen for High Point. Bottom half of the sixth inning has arrived here. Lancaster, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters tonight, and even on down to 9 with Devon Torrance swinging the bats pretty well in this game. Shaver with 2 hits, including a double. Felice has a double. Lair a base hit. Torrance a base hit. And a total of 5 hits for the Barnstormers in the game. None out of the top 4. Here is Xander Wheel against Chase Johnson. Johnson got the side in order last inning. Last 2 frames, High Point has sent the minimum of 6 batters to the plate. This is the first time since the middle of Tuesday night's game that the Rockers have gone back-to-back innings without scoring. They went 5 in a row here on Tuesday against Gannon Ball. Johnson misses to Wheel. It is ball 1-0. 3 games against York, 6:30 tomorrow and Saturday, and then 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. Barnstormers hit the road again next week, going to Southern Maryland and Long Island. Breaking ball for a strike, and it's 1-1, the count on Wheel. And it looks like we're going to end up facing Darrell Thompson on Tuesday. Of course. But Thompson hasn't been able to win yet this year. I believe he's 0-2. Now, I take that back. They rallied against Staten Island last night. He was trailing. Swing and a miss, 1 ball and 2 strikes, but he didn't get the win. The all-time leading winner in the Atlantic League history and the all-time leading winner against the Lancaster Barnstormers in franchise history. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Wheel. Johnson peering in to get the sign. Just inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chase Johnson ready to serve up the 2-2 offering. Right-hander brings it home, and it's fouled to the padding. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. What's going to be great about tomorrow night is actually getting to watch a baseball game from behind home plate for the first time this season. Gastonia's booth is halfway to first base. This one, of course, way down the line. In Gastonia, I couldn't see right field. Here I see right field more than anything else. Smashed, line drive, caught by Mercedes. Wheel is retired, 1 down. Relievers have now set down 6 straight. That brings on Ben Aklinski. He has walked twice and homered, scoring 2 in the ball game. 1 out, nobody on. Nice play by Mercedes on the last. It could have handcuffed him. Fastball for a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. One Lancaster error tonight. That was on a throw. Trying to get Wheel at third, and instead it allowed him to score. All the runs are earned off the Barnstormers staff. The pitch inside and hit Aklinski. So he becomes a base runner for the 4th time. Runner aboard with 1 out, and Ladendorf will step in. Speaking of HBPs, did you see all that mess between the Cardinals and the Mets? The Mets apparently have been hit a ridiculous number of times this year, and finally the Cardinals hit Pete Alonso, and all Hades broke loose. They'd had enough. It was the 5th or 6th time the Mets had been hit in that series. Ball 1, high and inside to Ladendorf. It's 1-0. As Dull continues to warm up down here. 13-3, bottom half of the 6th inning. Aklinski, the runner at first base, with 1 out last year. The Barnstormers, for a good part of the season, were hitting about a batter a game, fouled off. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Not quite that extreme so far this season. Oh, it's Yoel Espinal. It's coming back to me now. Yoel Espinal, a guy who hits so many. I think he set the franchise record and was in the bullpen, and not for the entire season. Broke Shunsuke Watanabe's record, which was one of the more intriguing moments in the history of the franchise, when the guy whose pitches darted all over in front of home plate, practically like hitting a knuckleball, but that's not what he threw. He just threw those slow Frisbee sliders and could dance it both ways from that submarine angle. But those pitches would get away, and he'd nick hitters, who more often than not would have a Travis d'Arnaud reaction. Swung on and missed. That's it for Ladendorf here. 2 outs in the inning, and the catcher Galino will step in. Second strikeout for Chase Johnson. Was it Stang Gordon, I believe it was, hit, if I've got that name correct, hit Travis d'Arnaud earlier this year with an ephus pitch. And I believe it was in the 50s, and d'Arnaud acted as if he'd been hit by Nolan Ryan. And it was one of the great moments of levity in Major League Baseball this year. Fastball for a strike. It's 0-1. Alonso got hit up around the head, and that was the Mets completely lost their patience with the Cardinals. 0-2. The Mets off to one of the best starts in Major League Baseball this year. No balls, 2 strikes to Galino. Johnson will bring it home. It is low and past Peroni, which will advance Aklinski to second base. Out here, I'm completely hung out to dry on wild pitch pass ball, so I'm going to have to wait for this to be posted. 1 ball and 2 strikes. My guess is wild pitch, but from here it looked like it could go either way. And Chase Johnson deals. That's fouled to the big rocker sign atop the stadium. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The continuing count on Galino, who walked 3 times earlier in the game. He was walked by Silk, by Shirley, and by Sullentrop. Now, it was a wild pitch as Aklinski moves to second. 1-2. Look out as Galino is flattened by Johnson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner in scoring position, 13-3. High Point in charge here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Chase Johnson pitch, and he almost chased fully. Did to foul it off, did Galino. Still 2-2. That was a wild swing by the right-handed batting catcher. Johnson has a good assortment of stuff, a veteran presence. Chase turned 30 back in January, and he is a very slender guy. Next pitch, fastball, put him away, a swing and a miss. Galino goes down. Johnson chalks up strikeout number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We get to advance to the 7th inning. 13-3, High Point leading.
All right, Rockers fans, we are to play some putt-putt. Right here we have the Cruz's family. Are you guys...
Hi everyone, Adam Gockenauer from Gockenauer Appliances, and I'm excited to tell you about a new addition to the Gockenauer's family this summer season. We are now selling Titus gas grills. Titus gas grills gives you a high quality, all stainless steel grill at an affordable price, and the best thing is you can assemble it yourself in just 5 minutes. That's right, 5 minutes. Stop by to see this great grill now and mention this ad to receive a free gas grill cover with your Titus grill purchase. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack. Thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Off's Excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling. If it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
We get to the top half of the 7th inning here. 13 runs on 12 hits, 2 errors, and 4 left on base for High Point. The Barnstormers, 3 runs, 5 hits with 1 error, 4 men left on base. It's been a respectable night offensively for the Barnstormers. Again, it's been that one stretch of the batting order that's done the damage with Shaver and Felice in the 5 and 6 slots tonight. Trace Lair with a base hit in the 7 position. Ryan Dull has taken over here for the Rockers. Dull was the man who almost lost it for the Rockers here on Tuesday. He gave up 3 runs in the 8th inning before he could get an out. And the Barnstormers had taken a 4-3 lead. Well, technically, they scored the go-ahead run on the first out. And then he was able to get the side in order from there. Did not factor in the decision. First pitch to Anthony Peroni is fouled back. It is 0-1. Peroni is grounded to short and fly to a fairly deep right field. His second time through. Ball didn't quite take Gonzalez back to the warning track, but it got close. Peroni getting a ball outside. It is 1-1. Dull in his 4th appearance of the year. He had pitched 2 scoreless innings prior to Tuesday, and he struck out 7 in 3 innings. It is low. Peroni gains an edge at 2-1. Barnstormers still have not piled up 10 hits in any one game this year. Two balls, one strike. Dull deals, and that is slapped. The third baseman cannot come up with it. It's past wheel and into left. Peroni with a leadoff single here in the 7th inning. 6 hits for the Barnstormers. And Devon Torrance will come to the plate. Devon is 1 for 2. A comebacker, and then a sharp single into right field the second time up. Seventh inning of baseball tonight. The 62nd inning of baseball on this trip. Torrance with a pop fly foul over the third base seating area. 0-1 to Devon. It will be interesting to see how many moves are made by Ross Peoples in this ball club over the next week or so. Torrance swings and misses. It's 0-2. It is a wonderful bunch of young men, and I don't want anybody thinking otherwise. This is one of the best groups in terms of personalities that we have ever had in here, and we've had some great teams. But it's becoming obvious as this trip goes along that this particular combination isn't quite working. We'll see what transpires over the weekend. Torrance swings and misses. Oh, he strikes out here in the 7th inning against Dull. Ladarius Clark comes to the plate, 0 for 2 of the walk. He was robbed on a leaping catch by Michael Russell, his second time up tonight. Dull is another North Carolina native, pitched in Chapel Hill. 32 years of age, a little guy, 5'9", 175. Pitched with Oakland, Toronto at the major league level. He deals a strike to Clark. It is 0-1. So it may take some fixes on the parts of Ross and Troy Steffi to try and nudge this team back in the right direction. Again, it's not time to push the panic button and just blow the whole thing up. I don't think really that's called for. 0-2, and down goes Clark. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and Mercedes will come to the plate. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run batted in for Mercedes here tonight. Anthony Peroni led off the inning with a single into left, and he is still at first base following consecutive strikeouts from Dull. First pitch fastball in for a called strike. But the walk differential is now 40-12. The runs differential is 59-20. Swinging a tapper foul, 0-2 on Mercedes. Took Dull a little bit longer to get locked in here on Tuesday. Tonight he gives up the single to Peroni, and pretty much nothing but strikes since then. It's 0-2 to Melvin. The 5'9" right-hander against the 5'7" switch hitter. And Mercedes tattoos this, and once again, there is Russell spoiling the plans. 4-3 for the third time tonight, and the second time that Michael Russell has speared one in the hole to take a hit away from Mercedes. No runs on a hit, no errors. One man is left. We have reached the stretch tonight with the score, High Point 13 and Lancaster 3.
It's no longer about answering the most emails or pulling the most all-nighters. It's about prioritizing what's most important.
Hey Lexus, give me directions to Eagles Peak Hiking Trail. Calculating route.
That's why the Lexus NX has an interface engineered to understand you and an available 14-inch touchscreen that's simpler and more intuitive. The Lexus NX. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
Availability and accuracy of navigation system depends on many factors. Data charges may apply.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 22nd through 25th for the induction of Bud Fowler, Gil Hodges, Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Buck O'Neill, and David Ortiz as the class of 2022. Visit baseballhall.org today for the
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Gonzalez, Field, and Russell scheduled to step in for the High Point Rockers. The good news is the Rockers have not scored since the 3rd inning. That's known as putting a spin on things, people. Adam Choklik, a left-hander, now warming up in the bullpen. He's been in this league before, a guy who stands 6'9" and goes 295 pounds. In other words, he shops at the big and tall store. Chase Johnson remains in the game for the Barnstormers. He has struck out 3 in his 2 innings of work. Only base runner he has allowed was the HBP of Ben Aklinski. So my counterpart here with the Rockers, Kendrick Fruits, will be getting his wishes fulfilled as coming up in the top of the 8th, Choplik at 6'9" and 295. Where did they find a uniform big enough? Will be facing Colton Shaver, the Barnstormers' behemoth of a catcher. The ball is outside to Jay Gonzalez here, and it's 1-0. Chase Johnson into his 3rd inning of work. Right-hander ready to go. Johnson fires and misses. He hasn't been off the mark much, but he falls behind Gonzalez 2-0 as Ross stretches Chase out to a 3rd inning. Right-handers have been okay. The left-handers certainly struggled tonight against this High Point batting order. That is a strike. It is 2-1 to the leadoff batter in the home 7th. 13-3 ball game. Jay Gonzalez, 1 for 2 with a couple of ribbies. Awaiting the 2-1 offering from Johnson, who kicks, fires, and nails the zone for a 2nd strike. It is 2-2. Choplik, it appears, will be the 4th High Point pitcher of the game. Cassad started, then Hensley in the 6th. Choplik has been in this league before. Hopper on the right side. Melvin into the hole. Fields throws and just cuts down Gonzalez at first base. He made it close. Melvin Mercedes throwing from right field. 1 away. Johnny Field comes in for a guy who batted 4 times in the first 4 innings. Because of the effectiveness of Chase Johnson, it's taken all the way to 1 out in the 7th for Johnny Field to get that 5th plate appearance here tonight. 4 runs in the first, 9 in the 3rd. The Johnson pitch twirls to the outside corner for a called strike. It is 0-1. Couple of highlights for the Barnstormers tonight, and they both belong to Anderson Felice, a 2-run double in the bottom of the 2nd inning, or the top of the 2nd, and in the bottom of the 2nd. He participated in a 7-2 double play to keep High Point from scoring there. There were the bases loaded with one out when he caught a fly ball off the bat of Jerry Downs and drilled a throw home to double up Mike Galino. 1-1 here. Johnson's pitch fired low and away, and he now trails Johnny Field in the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Barnstormers heading home after this one. Come on out, show your support tomorrow night. It's the Barnstormers and the York Revolution for the first of 32 this year as the Barnstormers try to reclaim the Community Cup. Here's a 2-1. Fastball is grounded past the mound, out to Lair. Lair will throw, and down goes Field. 2 up and 2 away here in the 7th inning. Michael Russell will come to the plate. He is 2 for 4 with a run batted in. This game winding down to its latter stages. Two outs, nobody on as Choplik, the Texan who went to college at Oklahoma, warms up in the bullpen. There's a swing and a miss. 1 strike to Russell. He was at Southern Maryland in 2019, was Adam Choplik. Last year pitched in Mexico. Johnson is high. Ball 1 and strike 1. Without looking it up, I was trying to remember where he had pitched. But yeah, Stan had him back in 19, and he had a very fine season for the Blue Crabs. Johnson's pitch pulled down the left side, foul. Michael Russell bats at 1 and 2. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom half of the 7th inning, 13-3. The Rockers have been in control since they got that bottom of the 3rd going. It was 1 out when a fly ball that appeared playable dropped between Mercedes and Torrance. And after that, that inning got really ugly. Into the dirt to Russell, and 2-2 is the count. Chase Johnson has struck out 3. He's gotten 3 ground outs, 1 fly out and 1 line drive around hitting a batter. He's retired 8 of 9, working to Russell, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and that is punched to the middle of the infield, slowly hit. Mercedes will throw and just get him at first base. Mercedes grounds out, or Russell grounds out to Mercedes for the 3rd time. Mercedes is grounded out to Russell 3 times. The second baseman keeping each other busy over the course of the ball game tonight. You obviously heard the grumbling. Some of that was from the High Point bullpen down below, some from the crowd. But Russell called out at first base by Levante Palmer. So we move on to the 8th inning. Adam Choplik has come into the ball game with the score, High Point 13 and Lancaster 3.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Adam Choplik takes over for the 8th inning. He'll be facing Cordero, Dugan, and then Shaver, 3, 4, and 5 in the Barnstormers batting order. Choplik in for the 3rd time this season. He's had some troubles with his control. He has faced, get this, 10 batters, and only one has put the ball in play. He's walked 3, hit 1, struck out 5, and he's been charged with a run. So here is Cordero over 3 tonight. First offering is swatted foul out of play over the rooftop on the first base side. It is 0-1. Lancaster with 6 hits here tonight. Shaver, the lone man, with 2. Ball is outside. Cordero bats at 1-1. If the Barnstormers had the best chance to draw closer since the 9-run inning, it was in the 5th, but Cordero grounded into a bases-loaded double play. Here a ground ball over to third. That is handled by Wheel, and the throw is true. Cordero is gone 5-3. 1 out. Kelly Dugan will come to the plate. He is 0 for 3 with a run scored. Colton Shaver moves into the on-deck circle, and we will have the closest thing that the Atlantic League can come to a sumo match when Choplik battles Shaver, breaking ball, and a good-looking one, for a strike to Dugan. It is 0-1. Between them, some 540 pounds or better. Dugan tries to hold on the swing and cannot. Fastball up top, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Kelly had a pair of hits last night. He has 2 doubles in the series. He's 4 for 18 on the young season. So there's not a lot that is operating terribly well for this Barnstormers club right now. Dugan gets a piece and rides it back into the net. 2 strikes continuing. 13-3 the score. It's been that way, well, since the Barnstormers got 1 run home in the 5th, but the 13 is held up since the 3rd inning. Sullentrop and Johnson have gotten the job done since then. Swing and a miss. Dugan is gone on strikes. And Colton Shaver will come to the plate. Choplik is currently listed at some 290 pounds on the Rockers roster here. 295. Colton Shaver, we have him listed at 249. So, oh my, heavyweight battle. 2 outs and nobody on here in the 8th inning. Shaver tonight with a single to right, a double to right center. Choplik delivers, and it's popped up on the right side. This is just up the line, fair territory, and played by the first baseman Downs. Choplik gets the side in order in the top half of the 8th. Nothing doing for the Barnstormers. We'll go to the home portion of the inning with the Rockers leading 13-3.
Lancaster County Motors Subaru once again presents the Subaru Outdoor Experience. Located along the first base line, this space welcomes fans to a different experience while attending games. The Subaru Outdoor Experience focuses on creating social engagement among the fans. Fans will identify with the Subaru outdoor experience, which includes games like life-size Jenga, shuffleboard, ping pong, giant checkers, and bocce ball, along with an art wall of kayak, bike, and recycling arts parts and information, a dog-kissing booth, a barbershop corner, and opportunities to engage with the local business that made this unique space possible. Come enjoy the games while watching the game.
Rock with the 5-time Tony Award-nominated musical Rock of Ages at Dutch Apple Dinner Theater, April 22nd through May 14th. When a development company plans to turn the Sunset Strip into another strip mall, it's up to a group of wannabe rockers to save the day and the music. With music from Styx, Bon Jovi, Poison, and more, Rock of Ages features all your favorite 80s rock anthems and power ballads. How can you resist? Call 717-898-1900 or visit DutchApple.com to reserve your tickets today.
Quite a nice job tonight done by Chase Johnson. Still want to consider Anderson Felice to be the player of the game tonight for the Barnstormers because of the two-run double and the great throw that followed in the bottom of the inning. He really gave the Barnstormers single-handedly a chance at one point to get back into this game. And Johnson has, once this game got broken open, thrown 3 shutout innings, 3 hitless innings. Striking out 3, the only blemish was a hit batsman as Aklinski got plunked with 1 out in the 6th inning. Action once again has commenced in the High Point bullpen, where right-hander Max McDowell is loosening up to come in for the 9th inning and come in for the 2nd consecutive night, as Jamie Keefe breaks in the youngster from St. Michael's College or University, whichever, in Vermont. Jerry Downs leading off the 8th against Donald Goodson, who gets thrown back out there tonight after giving up 3 runs last night. It's not been a good start to the 2022 season for Goodson. He's given up 3 homers in 2 innings and 5 runs total. Ball is high. Downs is batting at 1-0. He has a single and a double tonight, does Downs. Goodson throws some flames and misses outside for ball 2. 2-0. Johnson retired the side in order on ground balls last inning. Bottom of the 8th. Lancaster with Felice, Lair, and Peroni scheduled in the 9th inning. There's a strike, and it's 2-1. Going to try and get off the air pretty quickly tonight. He'll go through the out-of-town scores in the top of the 9th inning. Foul ball back, 2-2. The count on Downs. Part of the reason is I am about as far away from the Barnstormers clubhouse and the bus as you can possibly get. And I got what's got to be a good 40 to 50 pounds of stuff to lug all the way down there. High, pop fly, foul territory, third base side, long run, sliding, and making one heck of a catch is Andretti Cordero. Nice play here in the bottom of the 8th of a one-sided game. That gets a star in the scorebook. Chalk one up for Andretti. He has a very nice glove over at third. 1 out. Here is Quincy Lattimore. 2 for 4, a couple runs scored and a couple runs batted in. Don Goodson delivers and gets it past him, a swing and a miss. No balls, 1 strike. Goodson's velocity strikes me as being a little bit off from where we saw him often last year. And part of that, I suppose, can be coming off going to winter ball for the first time in his career. He was down in South America for a few months during this off season. Ball 2 is low, 2-1. And the reason he signed so late, it was always Ross's intent to bring him back and Donald's intent to be with the Barnstormers, but he didn't want to sign the paperwork until he got back in the U.S. 2 balls, 1 strike to Lattimore. Goodson ready to go. He'll fire, and that ball is hammered down the left field line, but taking a left turn and going well foul. 2-2. Twelve of the 13 High Point runs tonight coming off the lefties, Silk and Shirley. The right-handers, Sullentrop, Johnson, and to this point, Goodson have gotten the job done. And a pitch, half swing, and a comebacker. Easy play for Goodson. Floats the throw to Dugan, 2 outs. And here is Xander Wheel. And the way this game started, it looked like Xander had a legitimate chance to hit for the cycle. And over a span of 3 at-bats, split between nights, he had the home run, the double, and the triple. But since that bloop 3-bagger back in the 3rd inning, he is struck out. Sullentrop got him there, and then he lined to second, and Mercedes against Chase Johnson. Now the pitch, ground ball here, that will get through to Lair. Trace with the throw, it's low, and Dugan able to snap it up. So the defense shines for the Barnstormers here in the bottom half of the 8th inning, and that's good to see. Cordero with a great play on a foul pop-up. Dugan, a very nice pick over at first base to close out the inning. Down goes High Point in 1-2-3 fashion against Donald Goodson in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And this has been a tough road trip, tough night. It's chilly out here. And to see guys hustling like that, making those plays in the bottom half of the 8th inning adds a little bit of warmth to the situation. We're on our way to the 9th. We're going to see Max McDowell for the 2nd night in a row. The Barnstormers trail going in by the score of 13-3.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org. See you in Cooperstown, where the journey becomes legend.
They say to truly understand someone, you must walk a mile in their shoes. Well, at Lexus, we designed the ES with you in mind every step of the way. From class-leading legroom in the back to positioning the touchscreen 4 inches closer to you in the front. Everything in the Lexus ES, a direct reflection of you. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
2022 ES versus 2021-2022 competitors. Information from manufacturers' websites as of 5/3/2021.
For the youth of our area, the Barnstormers are offering a wide variety of camps throughout the summer to teach everyone some tips on baseball and softball. Camps are offered to kids as young as 4 and as old as 12. Some even involve the parents. They run from June 11th all the way through September 17. For more information, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and click on the Youth Baseball tab. All presented by Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster and Play It Again Sports.
Told you I would give you the out-of-town scores in the top of the 9th and get out of here quickly tonight. Max McDowell is working to Anderson Felice to start the 9th. McDowell, who threw his first professional inning last night and gave up 1 walk and nothing else, deals a strike to Felice. It is 0-1 here. The next delivery, and Anderson chops a foul and back of the plate to get to 0-2. Around the Atlantic League, Long Island dumped Charleston earlier today, 10-6. Gastonia and Wild Health now a final. It was 6-4. Deck McGuire winning for the Honey Hunters, and Ronald Pena the save. Top of the 9th, Southern Maryland leads Staten Island 1-0 down at Regency Furniture Stadium. The ball misses. 1-2 to Felice. York is destroying Lexington. It's 18-1 in the top half of the 7th inning. Hopefully York leaves the bats in Kentucky. Hard hit ground ball, but right at downs. He will jog to the bag, retiring Felice. 3 unassisted, 1 retired. Here in the 9th inning, Trace Lair will come to the plate. He is 1 out of 3. And on the major league slate tonight, most of it actually this afternoon, 7-5, San Diego over Cincinnati. Milwaukee edged Pittsburgh 3-2. Philadelphia again with a win over Colorado, 7-1, today's version. Ball 1 is outside to Lair. It is 1-0. Miami 3, Washington 2. The Yankees over Baltimore 10-5. Tampa Bay 2, Seattle 1. Minnesota with a 7-1 win over Detroit. In for a called strike. It is 1-1. Houston 3, Texas 2. Kansas City beat the White Sox 5-2. Toronto 1-0 over Boston at the Rogers Center. Down low. Anthony Peroni waits on deck as Lair bats at 2 balls and a strike. LA, the Angels over Cleveland 4-1. Atlanta tonight leads the Cubs 2-1 in the top half of the 4th inning. Lair now draws ball 3. 2 outs left in this one with the Barnstormers trailing 13-3. And St. Louis leads Arizona 2-0 with play in the 2nd inning. Trace Lair draws a base on balls. That is the 3rd issued to the Barnstormers in the game. Peroni will come to the plate. He is 1 for 3 on the night. Peroni with a base hit into left back in the 7th inning. Taking ball 1 outside and low from Max McDowell. Choplik worked the 8th, threw a 1-2-3 inning there, striking out 1. Dull the 7th, gave up 1 hit and struck out 2. Lair leads off first to Peroni. Fastball for a strike. Count is even at 1 each. Devon Torrance is the on-deck batter. Breaking ball gets to the outside corner. And Peroni finds himself behind at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lair leads off. There's a chopper to the shortstop. Could be 2 to end it. Out at second base. And the peg back from Russell is in time to double up Peroni. 6-4-3 on the double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Quick recap coming your way next as our final score tonight is High Point 13 and the Barnstormers 3.
This season offers a whole line of new items from Otto's Hospitality. Dig into the world-famous Nathan's Hot Dogs. Take a trip to Otto's Cantina for a walking taco or your favorite adult beverage. Enjoy a helmet of Otto's meatballs or a sausage with peppers from the Broken Bat Deck. For the sweet tooth, there are jumbo chocolate chip cookies, Skyline cotton candy, and ice cream novelties. Or simply snack on Emma's popcorn in a variety of exciting flavors. What a great way to savor your time at the ballpark, courtesy of Otto's.
There is a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 22nd through 25th for the induction of Bud Fowler, Gil Hodges, Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, Tony Oliva, Buck O'Neill, and David Ortiz as the class of 2022. Visit baseballhall.org today for the
The Barnstormers lose their 6th straight on this opening road trip. This somewhat reminiscent of the start to the 2013 season where the Barnstormers went to Texas and just got demolished by what ended up being a 95-win Sugarland Skeeter team. The Barnstormers that year ended up over 500 for the season, but with a 95-win Sugarland team, a 90-win Somerset team, in the same division, there never really was any hope for the Barnstormers that year. This season, we hope will turn out differently. The Barnstormers dropped their 6th in a row, and 4 of the losses have been pretty one-sided after the opening night win in Gastonia. Tonight, 13 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors, 4 left for High Point. The Barnstormers, 3 runs on 6 hits with 1 error, 5 men left on base. Cooper Cassad, the win. He is 1-0. Augie Silk with the loss. He falls to 0-2. Ben Aklinski and Quincy Lattimore with 2-run homers tonight for the Rockers, the second of the season for each. The Barnstormers had 2 runs batted in tonight for Anderson Felice, a couple of base hits for Colton Shaver, including a double here tonight. But once again, it was all High Point, 4 in the first, 9 in the third. Sullentrop, Johnson, and Goodson gave the Barnstormers 5 2/3 shutout innings after that 13th run scored as Lattimore connected against Sullentrop as the first batter to face that Barnstormers right-hander. So a couple of silver linings tonight, the work out of the right-handers from the bullpen, and the great play turned in by Cordero in the 8th inning. It shows these guys still want it. They're by no means giving up the ghost, but the Barnstormers need to get home off of what has turned out to be a very painful road trip. And home we come. We'll be headed back to Clipper Magazine Stadium with the overnight trip from down here in North Carolina to open the Clipper Magazine Stadium portion of the 2022 schedule. Tomorrow night, 6:30, our game time. The Barnstormers and the York Revolution, the 15th edition of the current War of the Roses here in the Atlantic League. The Barnstormers trail in the season series against York. They've won 7 years of these first 14. 6 have belonged to the Barnstormers. There has been 1 tie. It is time to get the Community Cup back, first of 32 between the Cross River rivals coming up tomorrow night. And it's all in front of you fans at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Join us, but again, bring an extra layer as Steve Ditzler has so kindly provided for me down here in High Point. We'll be with you from Clipper Magazine Stadium on the YouTube channel at 6:25 tomorrow night as we celebrate the beginning of another season of Atlantic League Baseball at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Until then, for our video producer Ryan Cortazzo and all the cast and crew at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and come tomorrow night, we'll see you at the ballpark.